What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Oh man, y'all don't understand. Thursday nights at 9 p.m. for me is everything. You know why? I get to spend 15, 20 minutes with you guys. I'm so thankful for this time. I'm live from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So I want to tell all of my followers from all platforms, welcome. And if you are new, let me introduce myself. My name is no, I ain't gonna do that today. But my name is David M. Pinkston, but I'll go by the name of DMP Speaks. And welcome to my show, which is called Power Session Live. I do these sessions every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, not just for your viewing pleasure. I am a self-esteem coach, and I'm also a speaker, soon to be author. That'll be a later date. My focal point is to pour into you tonight. I have a couple people on. What's going on, everybody? Some people are waving. Can't get to everybody, but I'm just wanting to acknowledge that I do see you. Thank you guys for being on. I don't want to waste time because we're already 3 minutes into the show. Tonight, we're going to talk about your wounds need healing. I want that to simmer for just a moment. Your wounds, your scars, your sores, and I'm not talking about physically. I'm talking about mentally, emotionally. Some people are scarred. Some people are dealing with a lot of trauma. They're dealing with a lot of hurt. And you can't get over that. You can't just put a blanket over and say that you're not hurt. You can't just keep putting a bandage over that sore if we're talking about in the physical and think it's going to heal itself. It's not going to heal. You need some ointment. You need some things. Well, have you ever thought about emotionally, mentally, psychologically, your wounds are so open, they need healing. So that's what we're talking about. So I want you to take out your pen and paper. If that's what you're still using, that's okay. Before I really do these sessions, I write them all out and then I place them in my iPad or my phone or in my phone, in my computer, so that I have it. So if you're using pen and paper, that's wonderful. If you have your iPad, you got your tablet, whatever that you have, I want you to take some notes tonight. I really do. I want you guys to be involved in the chat. If you have a question, if you have a comment, this is the teaching moment, but this is also a way for me to interact with you guys, because this show is becoming popular. It's becoming and is being help to people because of you. And thank you so much for your time and coming on. You could have been doing anything else, but you came on. So now, as you see, it's getting late. So let's go into the session now. Let's go. So there's a few things that I wrote down. So don't be alarmed if you keep seeing me go back to my notes here. But I really want to help you guys out. If you're ready, let's go. So a lot of us, if we can be honest, and I like the transparency that we have on this show, a lot of us have a lot of scars, right? We have a lot of wounds. And we have a lot of cuts from our past trauma, our past difficult situations. I have scars. And one day on this live show, I'm going to show you my physical scars. Many of you don't know this, but March 25th, 1993, I got involved in a really bad car accident. I was going across the street to catch my bus to go to school that day. It was a snowy day, but it was a lot of embankment of snow because I'm originally from Syracuse, New York. Q stand up, Q stand up. So I was going across the street, but I thought that all the cars had stopped because there was a line of cars that stopped because of a school bus that was maybe 2 or 3 houses down from mine. So I go across the street any other time, no big deal. But I knew that that day, if I'm thinking about it, it was unusual. So I said, okay, just seems a little weird today, but it's probably another day because it's cold and snowy. But as I proceeded to go across the street, now I see this truck coming, this plumbing van. I didn't know it was a plumbing van, but I see there was a van, but it had lettering on it, so I know it had to be a business. And all of a sudden, as it starts to approach, I thought I was going to stop, but before I could get across the street or even turn my head, he had already hit me. He broke my right knee, pretty much shattered it, and he rolled over my left ankle, pretty much shattered it. I was in I was in a leg cast for, I would say, over a year. I was saying 8 months, but it was longer than that. And I was in physical rehab for another year. I endured a lot of pain. I had to learn how to walk all over again. There was a lot of trauma that I was dealing with, a lot of pain, I should say, that I was dealing with, but I dealt with a lot of trauma. And not until I really started to work on not just my physical wounds and scars, but I really had to work on my mental scars because my confidence was down. My self-esteem about myself was down because I gained a lot of weight. I had to learn how to walk again, but I was just all over the place, everyone. All over the place. And why am I saying this to you? A lot of you have went through a lot of trauma in your life, right? And it's been very, very tough for you to overcome those situations. And a lot of you, if we can be honest, you're feeling like you're still dealing with those traumas. You're still dealing with those scars, right? And if you don't take, okay, let's go with the physical manner of scars. If you don't take care of a sore, if you don't take care of a cut or a wound, right, it's never fully going to get healed. Let that sink in for a moment. If you don't take care of wounds, scars, cuts, especially if they're deep in the physical manner that we're talking about, physicality, they're not going to heal. When it comes to your emotional scars, when it comes to, somebody has done something to you, maybe you had a business idea and you had everything going, and during the pandemic, it fell through. And it looks like, unfortunately, you won't be able to do that business anymore. You lost a lot of money because of the pandemic, because you couldn't open your doors. Family member might have hurt you a long time ago. They might have said some things that were just wrong. They treated you any kind of way. They just didn't love you like you were supposed to be loved. And that hurts, right? And they treated you unfairly. Maybe there was a job that you knew you were supposed to get. You knew it was yours. And you had all the qualifications, but somebody else got it. And you're trying to be happy for them, but that's a scar. How that family treated you and how they cussed you out and how they talked to you, that's a scar. So that brought your confidence down in yourself, and it did something to your self-esteem. You started to question yourself so much. You started to question who you are. You started to question everything. If we could be transparent, because this is why my show is what it is, because I'm very transparent. I'm very open, because I really want to help you in your area of healing these wounds. Okay. And it's very, very important that we talk about this for a moment, because let's be honest, a lot of people are walking around acting like they're happy. But internally, they're a mess. They're bitter, they're angry, they're crying. They ain't gonna let you see them cry, but they're crying. And I'm not making fun, but people are boo-hooing. They're going through a lot of stress, and they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do with the situation, and they're crying. And those wounds from that trauma, from mama not talking to you right or doing you right, when daddy wasn't there, when that man walked out, when that woman walked out, when your child walked out, or they don't want to do nothing with you. Those are open wounds. You lost a family member. That's an open wound. You thought you were good, but it still starts to creep back. And the reason why I'm taking my time for this, because I understand what it means and what it feels like to have open wounds, not to be fully healed from my past trauma. And the reason why I told you that it took me a long time. Can I be transparent for a moment? It took me almost 6 months after I started to walk again, just to walk across the street. Now, you might think that's funny, but for me, that was traumatizing, because even though I had my legs and I could walk, I kept remembering March 25th, 1993 in my head. Man, I really don't want to do this anymore. I don't think I can do this anymore. And that was a wound. A lot of you, and I don't mean to spend too much time, but a lot of you got a lot of wounds and you need to get healed. So I want to give you a few things to help you. I hope that this helps, but I believe that it will, to help you heal that wound, to heal that scar. And it's deep, because people don't know how deep it is. You smile and you go to work, you go, to church, if virtually with the social distancing. You're hanging out with friends. You're on Zoom. You're doing all these things, but you're not happy because your wound is still open. That sore is still open. That cut was so deep, you didn't realize how deep it was. And it's been 5 or 10 years and it's still deep. So I want to give you something tonight that I truly, truly believe this will help you to build yourself enough to say, you know what? I need some closure. Not only closure, I need some healing. So if you're ready for these, and I promise, give me 5-7 minutes, I'm done. But I really wanted to set the table for this so that you can get what you need tonight. Okay. So the first one is, okay, make sure everybody's ready. Okay. I think everybody's ready now. The first one is simply this: you got to forgive the person or persons that hurt you. I'll say it again. You have to forgive that particular person that hurt you. I know you're saying, well, DMP Speaks, that sounds all nice, but how? They touched me the wrong way. They yelled at me. They cussed me out. They said that I was worthless, that I didn't belong in the family anymore. They said they didn't love me anymore. Well, you're not forgiving them just for them. Now, I'm a Christian, more than just a Christian. I'm a believer. That's two different things. So that's a whole nother subject for another day. But I believe in Christ. So yes, you should forgive your friends, whoever has done you wrong. But I want to go a little bit deeper. The forgiveness is, to really forgive them. Let me put it like that. Yes, forgive them. But the forgiveness is not just for them. Catch this. The forgiveness is for you. I'll say it again. That forgiveness that you have is not just for them. It's for you to release yourself from that burden that they did to you, because they're still living their lives. They're still doing whatever that they're doing. And that wound that you have, that scar that we talked about, that deep cut, they don't feel it, but you feel it every day. So in order for that first step, you got to forgive. Because if you don't forgive, you're going to walk around in this world angry, frustrated, and it's going to filtrate into other areas. And this is number 2. It's going to filtrate into your relationships. So number 2 is, now number 1 was to forgive that person or persons that hurt you. But number 2 is, don't make others have to feel the same effect you felt. I'll say it again. Number two is don't make others pretty much suffer what you had to feel, because that person that really loves you, that's really supporting you, they're not who hurt you. Let that sink in for just a moment, because I know this is a lot that I'm giving you tonight. But if you think about it, if you're not healed and if you're not confident in yourself, what do you think you're going to put onto that person? What do you think you're going to connect that person to? You're going to connect that person, unfortunately, to your areas that are not healed yet. And you have to be able to do that. Why? You want to know why? I'll give you the answer. Again, the forgiveness is not just for them, it's for you. But when you do that, you could be pushing the wrong person away. You could be pushing the wrong relationship away. That person that was supposed to be in your life, you're pushing them away because you might feel like everybody else is that person. Everybody's the same. Everybody's is out for you like your mama was. Everybody's going to do you wrong like your daddy did. That's not true. So don't make others suffer because of how you feel. You first need to get the help that you need so that they won't have to feel the effects. And if you have been doing this, I don't want you to feel bad. I want you to get some help. Number three, and this is the last one. Well, this is the third one, excuse me. Find different wound healing activities. I don't think you've ever really heard that before. So you need to find some healing activities, some wound healing activities for emotionally wise, right? So like support groups, church, of course, some kind of affiliation, if it's through virtual or in person, that can deal with that wound hurt, right? Mentally, emotionally, books, daily affirmations. I am a big believer in affirmations because I have several affirmations that I tell myself. I tell myself I'm a winner. I tell myself I am great at what I do. I am the master of my own domain. Those are just some of the things that I am great in who I am. That's one of my biggest ones, and that's what I want to give you for free tonight. You got to keep telling yourself, even if you haven't got there yet, even if you feel like you haven't got to that plateau of being great, keep telling yourself that you are. That's one of the ways that you can start healing. Healing is a process. Keyword process. You got to start somewhere. You got to get some healing somewhere. That is the most important thing that you have to do. And the last one, because we're running out of time. Now, this is a big one. Y'all ready for this one? And we're done. Let your wound heal. Don't keep picking at it. Woo! That's a big one, isn't it? That's a big one. What do I mean by let your wound heal and don't keep picking at it? When I was a young boy, when I playing basketball outside, or if I fell or did whatever, that I would scrape my knee. I'm a boy, so I don't play, right? But what irritated my mom was I kept picking at my scar, at my wound. Even though it started to heal, I felt like I needed to I needed to pick it. Gotta pick it because I want to see what's going on. Some of you are like that. Some of you keep picking your wound and it's starting to heal. You having better relationships. You're being around more positive people. You're finally talking to your mom. You're finally talking to your dad. You're finally talking to you rekindle that relationship. But this is how you start to pick it. Now it's starting to heal, but then you make that person regret even being around you. I hate to say it like that, because in picking your wound, you go back to that scar. Because you'll say, well, everybody's like this. Well, when is this going to end? I know this is going to end. This is just temporary. I know this is going to always be the same. So it's like you're sabotaging your healing process. You're going back to that trauma. And I know some people are saying, well, you don't understand. I had to deal with this and that. I understand that. But you still have to stop picking your wound. You have to stop picking it. If you're in a place now, don't go back to your past. Don't go back to that past trauma, because you're growing now. You're not the same 16-year-old or that 19-year-old. You're older now, right? You're around different people now. You're in a different situation. So stop picking at your wounds. Don't be like me when I was 8 or 9 or 10 years old. Keep picking at my wound. Let it heal. And that means also giving yourself some time. Don't jump in. And I'm going to say this really quickly. Don't jump in a relationship if you haven't healed yet. I know y'all don't like me. I sound like my bishop. I ain't trying to preach to y'all. I'm just talking to you guys, and I'm almost done. Don't get with someone and you're not fully healed yet, or especially if you're not ready. That's another way that you can say that you're healed, but you're jumping into something because your girlfriends all have relationships or they're married. Don't do it. Don't do it. Even if you're a guy too, don't jump into a relationship if you're not ready and if you're not healed. Because if you're not healed, we can go back to number 2. You don't want people to feel what you had to feel. So take some time for yourself. It's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to say this to men, and I'm done. There's nothing wrong with taking some time for yourself, to gather your thoughts, so that you can be better for that woman, whoever she is. See, sometimes we rush into relationships and we feel like, oh, this is good. But we know in the back of our minds, we weren't really ready. She just was fine. She looks good. I don't want to lose her. But do you want to be with somebody that's just continuously giving you an ultimatum or pushing you to get into a relationship and you know you're not ready yet? Not because you got somebody on the side, but mentally you're just not there yet. That's a whole nother subject for another day. I'm not even going to get on that. But stop messing with your scab. Stop messing with your womb and get the healing that you need. A couple more things, and I'm done. I know I'm over my time, but I thank you guys for, spending time with me. And please do me a favor. Please share, because if I can get 5 people to share this tonight, that'd be wonderful. That's all I'm asking for. So, and another thing, when we're talking about stop picking at your womb, especially when it's healing, some of you feel like you need some of you feel like you need acceptance from other people. It's not what you need. You need self-acceptance. Even though that happened to you, even though they treated you bad, even though they put you to the side, that situation it's not going to be forever. Don't let it hold you down. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Don't let it hold you down. You are better than this. And as I close this session tonight, I want to say this to you. There's many of you out there that are on all the social media platforms, and you're spending time and you're scrolling through and you're looking at this session tonight and saying, that sounds good, but how do I start? When do I start? How can I start this healing process? How can I get the healing for my wounds and my scars? You start today. You start today by accepting that you need some help. And you start forgiving. I know it's tough. I hear you already. I hear what you're saying. I know it's tough, but you can do it. You definitely can do it. So I'm encouraging you all, if you're looking for a coach, if you need someone that's going to help you along the way so that you can start the process to heal those internal wounds, not just your physical wounds, but your internal wounds. I want you to put in the comment section, I need help. Simply, I need help. I will send you a personal message from me as a person. It's all about the impact because I really want to see you be the best version of yourself. And at the end of the day, that's all that's going to matter because I know I fulfilled my purpose in this land. And if you need that help, please, please, please don't wait. And you can have a free consultation with me and we can talk. But more importantly, I hope that you got something out of tonight. Your wounds need healing. I want you to get the healing that you need because that is going to set you up for your success. What is your success? Being happy, loving yourself, self-care, self-worth, self-esteem, being confident in yourself. So that if you're healed and you're whole, your relationship's going to be better. Your family is going to be better. Your job position, your job is going to be better. Your health, your mental health is going to be better because you took that step. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Listen, we're going to have another wonderful and powerful session next week, same time at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, if you want this replay, if you want to talk, I'm here. I'll be up all night doing what I need to do, helping people. That is my purpose, and I want to help you fulfill your purpose. Until next Thursday, be safe, wear your mask or not, but I want you to be safe. All right. Love y'all. Peace.